Jupiter has always been known as the great benefic, bringing opportunity, personal wealth, political prominence, high social positions, social success, and kingships of various kinds. It's the planet associated with the king of the Olympian gods. Jupiter is a glory-prone planet that can be viewed as a smaller, more specialized sun that encourages our growth. Jupiter was also the lawgiver, so there's an association with principles, ethics, and perspectives, all of which bring a larger vision to life. Jupiter's responsible for our expansion, pushing the boundaries of knowledge and experience. Where we find Jupiter, we tend to see ourselves as lucky, and we see that part of life as rich in meaning. Unlike Jupiter in Earth, that must stay connected to the material plane, Jupiter in air doesn't need reality. They prefer theories to primal needs because theories are light and full of possibilities. Air Jupiters find growth in communication and social interaction. They also have an innate understanding about where curiosity can take you. Let these Jupiters follow a thread, and there's no end to the kind of growth that can take place. In other words, their expansion is by nature intellectual. Gemini is considered the most adaptable of the air signs, especially when it comes to the thinking nature rather than the feeling nature. Feelings are heavy and complex and demanding. Thoughts, on the other hand, are like moonbeams, light and free to go wherever they choose. The mind is, unlike the body, forever young and footloose. As I've said before, Gemini isn't terribly fond of responsibility, and the mental realm is so attractive because there's no thought police. You bear little responsibility for the content of your thoughts until they become action. Therefore, this Jupiter engages life from a mental perspective. And you can say it has a level of curiosity that knows no bounds. Luck comes through keeping the curiosity as satisfied as possible. No discussion of any planet in the sign of Gemini is complete without bringing up the social realm. This planet has a light touch when socializing, and the social life is their way of coming into contact with as many different aspects of life as possible. This placement also facilitates opportunities to explore multiple fields with extraordinary speed, and where increase or expansion can be seen most profoundly is in writing and speaking activities. Anything having to do with words because they're so fluent. Now, how deep their studies go depends upon the individual, and one negative can begin to be seen here. An excess of curiosity can result in wide but not deep learning, a shallow skimming, which is contrary to the soul level understanding of Jupiter. This Jupiter is wired to do well in the fields of public relations and art. It may seem that on the surface, these areas aren't related, but they have the same center and so are associated with the same sign. What they share is an aesthetic eye. In the case of promotions and public relations, you get out the scales and weigh various traits. You see what features should be accentuated and what should be pushed into the background. You decide on what to say to create a certain image. These details culminate in a final picture, a public image. Art requires a similar process. You have to think about the harmony of one color with another, one line with another. You have to consider the placement of items on the canvas, the weight of a color, a shape, the pushing of something into the background, making it smaller, the bringing forward of something else. Everything comes together to create a finished picture. This placement carries aesthetics to the mental realm as well. They compare and contrast principles and ideas, coming up with mentally balanced and attractive notions that help them navigate the world with grace. They don't even want growth unless it's graceful. And a lot of expansion comes when they embark on a quest for beauty, inner beauty or outer beauty. Beauty to this Jupiter is cosmic honey, the pinnacle, the highest ideal. It ponders all forms of love and equality. These natives experience easy luck when they focus on their romantic relationships. They know a relationship is also an art that must be looked at with aesthetics in mind. The negative side here is a tendency to suppress emotion, namely the ugly ones, the ones that aren't graceful or harmonious or balanced. Unfortunately, every time an emotion is suppressed, some authenticity is lost. They may also do this on a wider scale, rejecting anything about reality that's ugly instead of beautiful. Jupiter in Aquarius is expert at intuitively grasping the universality of ideas and principles. They desire a new society based on freedom and social conscience. Care for one another on a collective level is important, but it has to come out of widespread personal freedom and independence. Individual autonomy is what causes this Jupiter to grow. It can't take too many orders, and it shrinks when it has to labor under an uninspiring philosophy or an imperialistic attitude in which the few exploit the many. Both luck and expansion are found via altruism here. Prosperity comes through an association with groups of people, especially those dedicated to collective projects. Because of its group focus, Jupiter in the 11th sign is open to new acquaintances. And it's funny, the fates seem to always bring them interesting people because this placement governs nonconformity and eccentricity. So a lot of these acquaintances will be of a rather odd or original nature. They may include social activists, geniuses, inventors, and radicals. Jupiter in Aquarius naturally likes to explore cultures and cutting edge ideas. Given its restless need for progress, this placement is prone to revolt. If they feel oppressed, they will not hesitate to break the rules to demonstrate their resistance. This inclination can be fantastic when channeled into the right movement, and not so great if it's frivolous or based in manic idealism. The most important thing for all airy individuals is to stop talking and start making concrete, practical moves towards fulfillment. Thank you for watching Secrets from an Astrologer's Desk, Jupiter in the Air Signs. Stay tuned for all the ways you can get in touch for a birth chart reading and full astrological services.